I th I think I might just do the one Gungeon and then call it, unless someone pops in with a strong desire to do some other stuff. Man, Resident Evil looks expansive. Expansive. Like, yep. I didn't mean expensive, I meant expensive. Not the same word. No, it looks like there's a lot of area to cover even in this starting area. Well, once you get them, you have accomplished it. Remember when you wanted to play The Witness? The game was just very hard puzzles. Yeah, it is. It looks freaking incredible. Okay, there we got a key. I was gonna say this heart doesn't feel super worth it. Guess I should put them like a little closer to my mouth. I don't know if this is... Huh? Yeah, the ragdoll physics that kind of were developed to deal with dead bodies. Sometimes they still have a little, like, a little inert gravity or something that's making it seem like they're moving. There we go. We got 3 keys before the shop. That's always freaking good. That means the likelihood of us getting to open everything is pretty high. Yeah, we're gonna try our hardest to buy that bracket key. Cool thing about buying something that is that adds curse is it also pays itself back eventually. Can I get 30 more cents before the boss? Not very likely. Not very likely that we get 30 more cents, period, but... There's not a lot of rooms left. Alien sidearm is also also very good. I think this is probably the... No, not the treasure chest yet. I need to see more like gun nuts or whatever those mace swinging ones are, the spectral nuts. I've actually recorded a lot of videos, three Isaacs, and this will be my second Gungeon video of the day, which is neat. But all right, we're 3 cents away. The boss should drop 3 cents. However, we're going into the boss fight without anything but the starting weapon, so we'll have to do this as kind of a prolonged range attack. There we go. I'm very surprised that that landed the way I wanted it to. Man, the only thing that sucks about the Marine over the robot is, 1, the accuracy, 2, the frequency of the need to reload. Otherwise, it's pretty comparable. Just seems like it's less damage. It's definitely less damage per clip. It seems like it's also less damage per shot, but not much per shot. Maybe it's a greater time between shots? I don't know. The robot just seems like he has a mini freaking machine gun. Long range, highly accurate machine gun that he gets to start off with. Okay. Whew. Felt myself tense up because I really thought I missed the blank on that one. 1 key, at least 3 cents. No key. Just gonna check for some secret rooms real quick while we're over here, because we won't be coming back this way for anything. Ooh, that's a good one. Alright. I'm very happy with this. We're gonna wait to destroy those blue chests until after we drop these. I'm still extremely sore of the butt. From snowboarding. So doing that right there, that actually really hurt. I have to sit in very specific ways to not feel the butthole pain or butt surrounding area pain. Yeah, I think like the Marine is the closest thing to the robot, the closest human version of the robot. He starts off with a little bit of armor. And he's got increased accuracy. But that's about as far as their similarities go. I can't believe I didn't get hit there. Like, really, really can't believe it. Actually tried to blink. Which luckily didn't go up. Well, I guess I used a blink in that room anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered one or the other way. Table tech sight. Not quite great. And I'm saving the bracket key for a big room. Which is probably a stupid way. It's always a better idea to over as opposed to underuse active items. They serve no purpose when they're just locked in place like that. We already found the secret. What am I doing? That. That does kind of kill some of the money we'd make in this room, but like, I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing okay. Oh, that reminds me of that freaking... Had a fight a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday, maybe earlier today, actually. Got stuck in the doorway on a door lord fight. And just freaking took a hit. It's crazy how easy it is to get stuck in doorways. This side's extremely simple. It's really so I got Jackie's stream pulled up. She's also playing it like in the same room as me, but I also have her stream pulled up, so I can just kind of look up and see what's happening in Resident Evil. And I'm trying not to do that when I'm in the middle of a boss fight, but it's really interesting. Yeah, she's having a big long chat with her. Well, I mean, if you don't feel like streaming, you can stop streaming. But you know, I still think that's a really silly way to play. All right, so nothing but shotguns so far. Gun launcher. Locked. Old Crest. I still want to go to the Abbey. Already found the secret room. You know what? I'm still gonna check. I was in a weird spot. The knockback and just the direct raw damage from the freaking elephant gun. Both so amazing. I also love how, like, quickly you can kind of pop it out and get the things going with it. It's like kind of almost an ideal secondary weapon because it's just, you know, it doesn't take super long to reload. You only kind of throw a single shot or two with it, and then you move on. Short is fine. It's not great. I am probably going to use the pitchfork and the actual best shot. Can I figure one out just by guessing? Or did you actually get the clues? What happened? You looked online? Oh my god. There's nobody watching mine either. Good. That's not good. Ooh, the rad gun. Ooh, the Gondromeda Strain. So the Gondromeda Strain is the exact same price as the Nod Key, so unless I get some crazy ability to steal, we're gonna have to not get something. Like fast travel? Like fast travel between spots? Well, it's teaching you the layout, I think. You probably will get something that's like fast travel later on. But usually games want you to figure out where everything is. Like you might get like an elevator or something that works kind of similar. Yeah. Hey Ninja, how you doing, dude? SSD Ninja just showed up. Nope. I have no idea. What? 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 Tell me. You have to tell me. I'm your husband. That's my wife in the background. Not what I would call a feller. He said howdy feller and then he said howdy feller in the background. I think it's a genderless feller. Yeah. There it is. Oh my god, those guys are creepy as fuck. Yeah, for real. Like, why? Why isn't he called a brainsy backwards guy? It's called a liquor? Like booze? He just gets drunk? His whole mutant special power is that he just gets drunk. You should check out Jackie's stream, Ninja. Yeah, she's hacking some old 1992 PCs. Ryan Cranston. Oh my god. Probably about 5 hours. Yeah. Nah, I think you start at like 4 o'clock. It's 8:30 now, so yeah. So 4.5. Yeah. I was here for a little bit, and then I wanted to eat. I mean, I guess I'm back. What? What game are you playing? Big old holes. They're both big and old? God damn it, it's been a lot chest every time there's been a secret room. That sucks. Have you played through Resident Evil 2?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
No, you haven't. I also was not talking to you. Do you know if this remake is like in any way like a changing of the game? Or is it just like a modernization slash graphical upgrade? Oh, there are? That's cool. Right, it's two separate stories. You play through as Leon, and then you can choose to play through as Claire for like a secondary story. Oh, so they tell like different stories? That's weird. Yeah, how do you know what's actual... That's like fucking fighting games, man. I hate that about fighting games. Where like they have... Everybody gets their ending, so you don't know what actually is the real haps. And they just have to kind of arbitrarily choose one. I need one of these. Yuck. Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright, sponge is alright, but none of this gives us the ability to get like Andromeda Strain. Radgun's really, really worth it. Alright. Hyperlight Blaster and Radgun pretty much have a set for boss weapons. Oh my god. There we go. We'll keep using our weak little guns here. Oh, really? That's super weird. It's just a tacked-on version. I bet the people designing the game didn't really want to make a two-part game, but they felt they had to because that was what they thought Resident Evil was supposed to be. It's kind of like, it feels like Resident Evil 6 did the like multiple path or multiple co-op things because they thought like Resident Evil 5 made it necessary to do like a co-op campaign, but it just feels even more tacked on. So 3 and 4 were the only ones where you just played as like a singular character, right? And I guess 4 you kind of played as a singular character. There were a lot of single character parts, but they also, it feels like they had the first inklings of the co-op mode with Ashley, I think. 5 was 2 characters. I mean, it was co-op. It wasn't... It was Sheva and Chris. Yeah, but one path. And then that became the, like, standard. And then Resident Evil 7 went first person and kind of changed everything up again. But Resident Evil 7 is, like, totally different, I think. weird. They do not know what to make of the series. And that's kind of interesting because every time a new Resident Evil game comes out, you're not sure you're getting the same thing, but like it also feels like they just want to put the name on some random shit. Like Resident Evil 6 shouldn't have happened. It looked like ugly and dated day one. It looked like it was trying to do like a horror thing with one character, an action thing with another character, and then like something even more confused with the other characters. I don't know. Ah, it's just slightly too far away. Yeah, we actually tried, Jackie and I, we got Resident Evil 6, I think for free or on a Humble Bundle or something like that, and we started it and tried playing it, and it was just like, this is not 6, we played all of 5. No, 6, we didn't get very far in at all. 6 was the one that starts off with Leon Kennedy, or yeah, Leon Kennedy, same guy from 4. And it's like a bunch of fucking action sequences, like there's like a big helicopter that explodes and you're in the middle of a city. It's so fucking bad and feels so like wrong-footed. I like what they're doing with this remake, like at least from a, what's that? Yeah, at least from like a PC user's perspective, it feels like they really give a crap about like maximizing the available features of the PC. It doesn't feel like a tacked on port, which I think they started to do with Resident Evil 7, but they didn't add like ultra-wide support, and it still felt a little bit closer to just a port. No, I think their memory estimator is just wildly inaccurate. But it's, yeah, it is good to kind of give a hint at least. Alright, well, this boss fight's going to be pretty rough. Mostly because I have one weapon where I can lose ammo by missing, and one weapon where I can lose damage by accidentally reloading, so I have to kind of focus on shit that I don't usually focus on. And the main thing in this fight is to just focus on dodging. You don't want to be thinking about your guns too much anyway, if possible. Damn. Ooh. What's up? All right. I have not played any Kingdom Hearts games, so I don't really have any.
Please.
Love you, baby. I don't have any interest in playing a game on the PlayStation in a series that I've never touched. They suck. They're not being cute. Maybe when they release Kingdom Hearts Final Ultimate Mix 3.58 minus 6.5, I'll consider getting it on the PC. But until then, it's not really on my radar, in all honesty. I I don't hate consoles. What I hate is the inconvenience factor. I have my PlayStation 4 um, right here, and I've been playing my Switch like fucking crazy. Um, if it came out on the Switch, I'd probably play Kingdom Hearts 3 in a heartbeat. Uh, but probably should have actually seen where I needed to use that. But what I hate is the system taking a long time to download, the download speed caps, the pay to play online, there's just so many things that are unnecessary and like extra work on consoles for me. Like my PC's on anytime I'm playing a game, so it has kind of a default status as you know, the machine I use. I use it for playing games and playing other things and everything else. So it's always on. It doesn't really need to be turned on. See, the Switch for me is ideal because I like to play a bit in bed before going to sleep. I like the number of hours I've put into Isaac only come from the portability of the system. I don't play like in the living room very often, but I can really easily by like we put my my wife's Switch dock in the living room, so I just take my Switch out there and play it on the TV if I want to play it in the TV. If we have friends over, anything like that. If we're playing Mario Party or Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, or even if I just want to show off like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, I can just do that, and then I can go back to playing it in bed, or I can go back to streaming it down here really easily. I just want ease of access. That's really what I'm looking for, and I don't feel that with consoles. I feel like consoles, even the sleep state in PlayStation, half the time there'll be some background update that I come back to that's stopped the game from being where it was. There's so many other things about it. I have some physical copies of games. I really like finding games cheap in stores and stuff. I think that's pretty neat, and getting like a physical copy. But like, oh, there's also other stuff I just fundamentally hate about it, which the portability of the Switch makes up. Yeah, I feel like the Wii U was a misstep. I don't think. I mean, I still had a great time with it, but I think they definitely realized it was a misstep. I'm not really blaming. I'm kind of treating every console as its own thing, every new system as its own thing, and not really. I'm you know, trying to not like let the faults of the past determine my judgment of a current product. But the main problem with the Switch was with the Wii U was no one was making games for it. Not Nintendo, not really anybody else. I think they knew they had a mistake on their hands. But asymmetric gameplay with friends was a lot of fun. I loved. I actually really loved a lot of the like Nintendo Land style party games and stuff like that. It's just it's a bummer when the only people that can make decent games for it are Nintendo. The Switch has already proven that it doesn't have that problem, primarily because of indie games. The portability of games like Hollow Knight and Gungeon, Isaac, things like that, that breathes new life into games that I was, some of the time, not even ever considering playing. I have more indie games on my Switch than I would have on my PC if I didn't get them in Humble Bundles. Fuck. I mean, the system's been out for 2 years. They're getting newer indie games now, but it can't have only newer indie games because the system hasn't been out and able to be developed on for that long. Okay. I think that's fair. You had a really good run. You can see on OBS how long you've been streaming. It says 3 hours, 56 minutes. But yeah, I think, like, I try not to ever say, like, I hate Sony because of the PlayStation 3, or, fuck! That sucked. That really sucked. Or I hate the Xbox One because of the Xbox 360, or whatever like that. Like, mistakes of the past are mistakes of the past. There's no reason to judge the current thing. In my opinion. But I do understand it. Nintendo has a history of being pretty insular in their games. And I honestly feel like, for me, the biggest problem I had with Nintendo was their inability to, like, it was the splitting of their freaking development teams. Oh man, I just missed a bunch of shots with that. And I think that's what the Switch kind of... Like, I had some games I loved on the 3DS, I had some games I loved on the Wii U, but I had half as many games on each system as I wanted to play. And I think the Switch really fixes that. The indies thing, is for me, is huge. I understand that there are older games on there right now, but, you know, that doesn't last forever. I'd rather get the scrim... Oh man, we need 1 cent. That's crazy. But yeah, the... Online is their fucking hugest weak point. Huh, you can just teleport away from those and cut the fuse. I feel like the fact that we're paying anything for online, it shouldn't be as bad as it is. And it should be incredible, and it's just not. I'm kind of on the opposite board with their online. I think that they need to start adding more than old NES games, NES ROMs onto the system to make it worth the whatever yearly fee I'm paying to be able to play, you know, a full second delay Smash Brothers. People, like, it's great for Mario Kart. It's probably fine for other online games, but like, if I'm paying money for online on top of paying for the system and paying for the games, I want a flawless experience. It's less of a scam than everyone else's, but it's another one of my biggest complaints about freaking consoles in general. Like, why did I pay 450 bucks for a PlayStation, or whatever I paid for a PlayStation Pro, and then I have to pay $90 every year, or whatever it is, $60, who cares how much it is, just to be able to play it online? Like, it's not really reasonable what they're asking for what they're giving. For basically for access to the game I paid for, I have to pay a third party. And, you know, I was one of the people that was fully behind. I was like, hey, if paying for Nintendo means I can play a nice, high-quality online version of the game, I'll do it. But they've proven that they haven't, and so none of the consoles have proven that they've given enough for the cost. What's up? What's up with your heart? Oh, yeah. You turn your computer all the way off? It's not a bad idea.
Oh, I thought I just put it to sleep. I guess I shut it down.
Yeah. Maybe you should fart on your own butt. Hmm? It's not a bad idea. Why don't you go, yeah, say hi to Chloe if that's what you want to do. If you want to. That'd be fun. I mean, the only reason I would go to local is to eat, and we just did that. If you'd come up with this idea 2 hours ago. Okay, baby, I love you. Yeah, I hate the idea of losing something that I paid for. Let's get out of this. That was a terrible room. And that idea with digital downloads and online-only experiences is very, very frustrating. I don't know. I spent enough money on this computer to, ouch, we're gonna get keys this floor. To let it kind of be my all. For, if they're gonna release a lower quality version of the game on, freaking consoles, then I'd have a problem with that. If they're gonna release it, like, here's something I hate about consoles: the lack of control. So let's just say that, because this has actually happened. Let's say I'm playing a game that I can play in 4K on my PlayStation, but I'm playing it on my 2K TV. Can I lower it? Hey, Kyo, what's up? Can I lower the settings to 2K? Nope. Oh, is there an ultra-wide option? Nope. Is there a way to do anything except one extreme or the other? Nope. It's either 1080 or it's 4K. It's their chosen frame rate. I can't really, like, I can't play the game how I want to play it. I play the game the way that it's given to me. And I totally understand that being more than enough for, you know, most people that have their Xbox or their PlayStation in their living room, and they just want something they can plug in, turn on the TV, and be done with. I fully support that. No one has to be obsessed about, like, turning off anti-aliasing so they can get a higher resolution or a higher frame rate or whatever. It's like, it's my own personal thing, but, like, if it's possible to be done with the game, why should I just feel that I should accept it in the state that they give it to me? That's what I don't get. And, like, I know I can do that with the, like, I don't have those options on the Switch. I totally get that. I do have the option to pick that game up and play it while I'm taking a crap. I have that option to play it when someone else is driving somewhere. I have the option to play it in bed for 15 minutes before I go to sleep. Like, I have options on the PC and the Switch, and you just really don't on the PlayStation and the Xbox. And you know what else? The other main, primary fucking reason I'm done with consoles? I read today, and this is actually the biggest reason. Bye, baby. This is actually the biggest reason. It's one of the most frustrating things about the whole proceeding. They're already working on the PlayStation 5, and probably the next Xbox system as well. When that happens, if they don't include full backwards compatibility, all the games I bought for the last year are functionally worthless, or I have to have two systems plugged up from the same company to play all my Sony licensed games or my Microsoft licensed games. Oh my god, I just fucking walked into that. That makes me so mad. Well, I mean, they of course are always working on the next console, but that's like exactly my point. That's more of my point. As soon as the technology is out, it's outdated, and I can't piecemeal upgrade it or play. I can't play PlayStation 5 games on my PlayStation 4. Like, even if I can play PlayStation 4 games on my PlayStation 5, I can't play PlayStation 5 games on my PlayStation 4. So, in order to continue playing games, I have to buy another system. And that's exactly what they want you to do. Like, They want you every 6 years to buy another $500 thing. I mean, I put more than the cost of 2 PlayStation 4s into my computer over the course of a year, but that entire time I was playing games at lower resolution, lower settings, whatever, and just not having my full finalized version of the game until I felt like I was done with it. You don't get that with consoles. Consoles are this weird thing where they have complete control, and you just kind of say, well, here's my money, I know it's not going to last for very long, but can I play these games until you make them obsolete, please? Like, I'm just done with consoles, man. They, I keep giving them chances and they keep fucking... They just suck. They just suck. It's such a temporary investment. It was super expensive for you, and if you keep it in working condition, Ninja, you can play the games that you have on it, even though they're digital. I have games from 1992 that I can play on my PlayStation or on my PC. That if I had had this same hard drive or whatever, if I had transferred the information over and re-downloaded, I could still be playing the same version without buying a new system and then rebuying a remastered or remade version of it in order to play it. Every game that I own on my computer, barring some that require an online thing, is essentially playable forever. I have all 3 versions of Mass Effect on one system, and I'll have them forever. You can buy a $400 computer and start playing games that are going to look uglier, most likely, than PlayStation 4, but if your PlayStation 4 breaks, you're paying another full $400 or whatever. Like, you do have the entry fee, but as soon as the 6 years are up or whatever, you're done. Like, that system is kaput. Like, and anything that comes out for that system, well, there are some instances of that. It's really my thing is that, like, if I want to play Mass Effect, if I want to play Mass Effect 1 through 3, I need an Xbox 360 for 1 and 2. Wait, were they all on different systems? No, it was Xbox 360 and Xbox One. Anyway, games that are across multiple generations of consoles, if they're all out on PC, you can play all of them. You can buy a remastered collection of all these games to be able to play them. You can pay twice for the thing. They give you the option to pay twice, and they fucking love to give you that option. But I don't have to pay twice for anything that I get on my computer. It is unfortunate that most of them are... wow. This is not ideal for these two guys. Most of them are digital copies. But, you know, that at this point, that's a re-download. Okay. Let's stop being stupid. What the fuck is going on? I hate thinking that, like, I don't know, like, I watched Nate play GTA 5 on the Xbox, and then 2 years later or whatever, they released the remastered version, and he bought it for the PlayStation 4. He couldn't just, like, turn up a dial with his more powerful system or whatever and play it. Then I just... I mean, if that's how you feel, it's just, for me, I honestly feel like I'd rather have something that I can put games on forever. I think a lot of people just, they don't want to think about it. They want the ease of access, and that's why consoles thrive. Like, I'm not saying I think it's stupid or I don't understand. For me personally, I'd rather have something that's dependable and that works the way that I want it to work. I have to put a little time into some games. I often get a game and I can't, like, out of the box get it to play perfectly. I have to fiddle with some options or whatever, but for me, that's less stressful than knowing that in 5 years or whatever, I can't play anything on the same console, or I can still play stuff on the same console, but I can't play it out. Like, I can't replace it. I don't know. As soon as they turned off the PlayStation 2 servers, any PlayStation 2 game, you had to wait until they remade it. As soon as they, like... Shit. You have to be resold on this shit. Like, that's what bothers me so much. I just don't want a system where I have to pay to play online all the time. I have to replace it every few years. It has to offer something that a PC isn't for me to really feel that way. And I don't think exclusives are enough. If you're talking about online competitive games, I think that that's a problem, or online games in general. Yeah, I think online games, that's a problem in general, and that's not going to be solved by playing it on PC. But like, if I turn on fucking StarCraft or Borderlands or something that came out a million years ago, I can still play that. Like, I can still at least play that base game. Any single player offline game I can play forever on my PC, as long as it functions, as long as my PC functions. Like, I don't have to wait until the PlayStation 5 comes out to play the new exclusive PlayStation 5 game and basically have this useless PlayStation 4 sitting on my shelf. Like, or working as a collector's item for the old games that I've already played for, but never useful for anything new. Like, I think you understand where I'm coming from with it. It's just... because I need the working hardware. After a certain point, you can't buy a working PlayStation 2. You can't do anything to play a working PlayStation 2 game. Like, without having kept something maintained or knowing somebody that can fix ancient tech. Not ancient, but, you know, old-fashioned tech. It is having multiple systems that I had to pay for individually that eventually are gonna guaranteed cost more than one PC. Like, damn, this would have been a great room to use. That actually worked out okay. Basically, I do want one system where I can play games from all periods. If it's getting to the point where games aren't working that well on my PC, I can replace a part here or there if I feel the need to, or I can play them in lower settings. I have the choice. Yeah, I mean, the reason they're selling fucking Super Nintendo Classics and shit like crazy is not because people could get a Super Nintendo and they just want this tinier, compact thing. It's because that's how people can play those games without pirating them. That's pretty much the only way. Like, fuck. As long as they're selling, that's all they really care about. They don't they don't need everybody to be on board. They need a few people to spend enough to put a port of an old freaking game and make 60 bucks off it, or even 20 old freaking games. Like, it's still ridiculous. I was all excited on the Wii U when I had the, like, virtual console. I got to play Earthbound for the first time because I never got it for the Super Nintendo. I never got it. I never got to play it on the Super Nintendo because I hadn't heard about it until well after the PlayStation 2 was out. And then I was like, man, I just paid like $14 for a digital file that'll let me play this 12-year-old game or whatever. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. That's a great business prospect, a great business plan. Just like giving people old versions of the same shit over and over and over. But it's not something I'm going to support. And I know that I said the Switch is different for me because the Switch is a portable and a home console. If they released a 3DS 2, I probably wouldn't get it. But if they release something where I can do a little bit of both, I am on board. Because I've gotten so many thousands of hours out of games. Oh yeah, that was my other boss weapon. Whoops. It's really ridiculous how much I've played by being, like, able to play it on the go. I take it with me on every trip I go on, not because I, like, am antisocial or anything, because there are times when I'm sitting on the toilet or we're in an airplane and everybody else is falling asleep or whatever. Like, it's just worth it. Like, I probably wouldn't get it if I had a decent laptop that didn't need like a huge battery pack and everything. I probably would just be on PC exclusively. But that is one of those, they simplified it for me, and I'm pretty happy about it. Not a single fucking key on this floor. Okay. I think all I want is access for my shit to be used my way. It could. You could have gotten a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 5 for the price of your computer. But you could have gotten a computer that could play PlayStation 4 games. I mean, I was watching videos on it before. Before the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out, they built $350 PCs that could play at roughly the quality expected of the PlayStation 4 and stuff. Of course, it's not like as what's the word? It's not in as ideal a condition. The games weren't made specifically for the system, so there was a little bit of shortcomings. But think about it if you want to think about it a different way. Think about, could you afford a PlayStation 1 through 5 for the cost of your PC? I don't think you could if you're going off of the price at release. Like, and that's where the problem actually lies for me. The continual nature of it. The fact that there's always the next version to buy. And yeah, there's upgrades for computers. There's new graphics cards. There's ways they're trying to get you to keep spending money, but they're not fundamental. They're not absolutely required. The PlayStation 3 itself at launch was $600. So the PlayStation 2, I think, was $400 at launch. The PlayStation 1, I think, was also $400. So that's already over. No, the PlayStation 1 might have been $300. So you can get a 1 through 3. Yeah, you just have options with the with a PC and you don't have an option with consoles. You don't have options. Whatever those options are, you don't have options with whatever it is you're trying to be specific about. And even this like half console generation kind of thing they did with the Pro and the One X and stuff like that, it's just a way to imitate PCs to give people... Well, here's what I did. I mean, my first PC was about $600. And I've kind of... It was actually like $500. I got my tax credit. I got my taxes back. I built a $500 PC, which is more expensive than a game console. And then I played it for 3 years like that. After 3 years, I started upgrading it. And I kept all the parts that I took out. And when I was done upgrading it, I basically had a secondary PC and another PC that I used for what is now my wife's computer. Or no, what is now Roddy's computer, actually. I gave most of the shit from that initial build ended up in Roddy's. So Jackie had my secondary computer, then I upgraded again. However, it was all by choice. I could still be playing that first PC. Actually, someone still is playing that. And it's only because I chose to go bigger that I got something else. It wasn't by need at all. It was by my desire to keep getting better monitors. And at one point I was hitting 4K, and then I was like, I don't want 4K, I want 2K with higher refresh rate. I had the options. You don't have any options when it comes to the consoles. Oh my god. Or if you do, you have their limited options that they're allowing you. 4K some of the time, 1080p some of the time. If they decide that this is a game that's going to allow it, etc. The PS4, when it first came out, was they made a big deal of it only being $399, or maybe $299, because the whole point was they intentionally hit $100 under what the Xbox One was going for. They actually made a huge deal about that. They planned on selling it for $100 more, but they made it seem like Microsoft was greedy, and they dropped the price by $100 and sold at a loss. The old systems were not cheap, dude. I think $300 was a pretty standard price because I remember trying to convince my mom to get those old ones. Well, if you're getting into used, then you're talking a whole different story. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, play console games if you want to. I really, it doesn't hurt me that people prefer console games. The only thing that hurts me about it is no unified online gaming with a lot of my friends, because they don't want to... They'd rather buy a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 6 and a PlayStation 7 than have one thing that works forever, and I'm not behind it anymore. It's sad but true. I can't keep spending for the same shit. Yeah, the art style. That's one I just threw together to make it, because I made a similar background for Nate's stream, so I made something a little different from mine. That was just thrown together in Photoshop. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. The system that I have right now, it costs me more than a PlayStation 4 at launch. Probably it costs about 3 times as much as a PlayStation at launch. I'm not going to need to upgrade any part of this if it doesn't break down for the next 15 years. Like, if it breaks down, then yeah, I'll have to replace it. Same way I'd have to replace any broken component of anything. But, like, I will be able to play every game that comes out for a solid 20 years on this machine. I think it already does. It already has turned that by making the PlayStation 5 not play PlayStation 4 games, or the PlayStation 4 not play PlayStation 5 games. It's already doing that. They're just not saying it's the same system with a slightly different name. But different generations are part of the problem. That's exactly the problem I have with it. That the different generations make the old things useless. Why am I not using my shotgun pull on? That's like exactly my problem, is that this generation issue making the old shit worthless is why I don't want to support consoles. And it's just a different version of what the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X did. All these iterative things. I know plenty of people that are playing on computers from 2002. Like, they're not playing games at the same quality, but they can fucking get Fortnite on it. Like, they can still play their old games. They can play some of the new ones. They can replace parts instead of the whole thing. It's just... I mean, if... Whoa. Hey, Bob! I actually remember seeing Star Trek Generations in theaters and not having any idea about any of the Star Trek stuff. I watched it with my dad because he loves... Oh, fuck. He loves Star Trek, but I remember thinking it was so cool that they put Picard and Shatner... I don't know. I really didn't watch Star Trek, as you can probably tell. They put both of them in the same situation. I used that a second too soon. I think that was the first movie that turned me into a socialist. To some degree. At least mentally. Maybe I'm not practicing it because it's really hard to practice socialism in this country. Hi, Andron. What's up, dude? It's not just that it's cheap. It's that you're being forced into something. It's that your options are limited on consoles. Your options are under someone else's decision. I mean, I guess they all are to some degree, but like I was saying, a big thing that super duper bothers me is that I can't play my PS4 games at 2K. I play them at 1080p, or I play them at 4K. If I'm on something that's of middle quality, it doesn't matter. It's as if that middle quality doesn't exist. Oh my god, that move is too fucking fast. Well, I didn't get anything this time. Didn't get a lead god, didn't get a lich flawless. Oh, that sucked. I actually should have left that one. Bob, thank you so much for the donation, dude. I really appreciate that. And thanks for watching Jackie's stream earlier. She really likes having people pop in. She kind of got a little frustrated with Resident Evil because she got lost, but she had a good time playing it. Yeah, she needs something. She's working on a couple, but she's not real. I don't think she's really digging them. Well, that could have gone better, but it still wasn't bad. We're at what, 117? There we go.